Welcome to Create by Tea. Today I thought that I would invite you to my home and I would show you how I decorate for this Christmas season. Alright, so I thought that we would start in my entryway. When you come in my front door, I have just this little area. Usually I have some sort of a cabinet or something, but this year I thought I would change it up. I have a little chair that I actually picked up off the side of the road, and I did a green stripe on it and added a pillow, and then also added a little Christmas tree to a crack. I've had that Christmas tree for years. I think it came from Hobby Lobby. And then this lamp is actually something I bought off of a virtual garage sale, and the shade is actually a basket that I cut the handles off of and made a little hole at the top so it would sit. I don't normally turn it on, but it was kind of a pain for us to even hang on the wall, so I do leave it, and I do like the looks of it added there. I have this little vintage looking metal hooks I also bought on a virtual garage sale. I have this little Christmas tree farm scroll that I believe came from Walmart last year after Christmas was over. It was on a clearance really cheap. And I just thrifted that green and off-white scarf recently in one of my thrifting hauls, and I just hung it up there for decor, not really using it. I did wash it up, and I just thought it looked very winter and Christmassy to add there. I've got this little rustic bird ornament someone gave to me a few years back. And then I do have a Currier and Ives print in a frame that I also thrifted, and I did also thrift the print that was in like a file folder at I think a church sale, and so I did pick it up and I did add that to it. So that is just right inside my door that I have decorated for Christmas. When you first come in our coat closet, I do have this older Santa head. I have had him for probably like 15 years. I sold some things years ago, and I actually bought him wholesale, and I couldn't part with him, so I kept him. He's kind of like a cardboard paper mache, but he's always one of my favorite things to put out. On my stairway, I have some faux greenery that I also purchased from a local floral shop. I think it was at the end of 2 years ago, and it was on a clearance, but I liked it. It's got a real soft feel, and that's actually 2 of them that I've just layered together. And then I've added some red satin bows just to make it a little more Christmassy. As you come down my hallway, I have this Joy to the World scroll, which I also purchased, I believe, on a clearance from the same floral shop in my town. And then I also have this like wheat wreath And I think that I got that from like a market, and I have had that for quite a few years as well. I just really like the color of it, and I thought these two paired well together here on the wall in my entryway. Next, we will head into my kitchen from down the hall. And I did not dress my table up for Christmas because it's usually like a dump zone for everybody in our house. So I just have a bowl of fruit on there for now. I did add some greenery to a basket on this little peg type shelf, hanger shelf, with a colander that I got at an estate sale. The basket, I believe, is from Kirkland's, and I had been looking for a basket similar to that for quite a while. And then I have an apron that I actually made. I don't wear it too much, but I did make that myself. And then a little Merry Christmas banner that I also believe came from probably Walmart last year after Christmas. And then I do have, not Christmas related, but this little like galvanized farmhouse light. It is not wired into my wall. It's actually just hung up there, and then I have a puck light underneath and the inside if I want to light that up. Next I have my kitchen cabinet that I actually bought this cabinet at a garage sale probably almost 15 years ago. And it's just an old wooden cabinet, and I actually had the doors cut out and added some glass to it so that I could, put things in it so I could see through. I have my campfire marshmallow tin that I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace this past summer, and I added a little Christmas tree to it. And then I have like a reproduction bread tin with my rolling pin collection and some cutting boards next to it. That's probably like my favorite part that I've decorated so far for Christmas. Inside, I didn't do too much when the sun is really glaring. I added just a little bit of greenery, but I did not really decorate the inside of this cabinet. But it does have some ironstone and just some kitchen things that I have on display in there. And this is how I have decorated my kitchen for Christmas. I have this little butcher block island that I actually got off of a virtual garage sale. I think I paid $50 for it. I did sand the top down and oil it and stuff, but I couldn't decide if I wanted to paint the legs or not, or paint the whole thing, but I have just left it like that, and I do really like it. It's not a complete solid piece, but it is very heavy up in the inside. It's actually just pieces put together to look like a more vintage butcher block table. So over here I have added this little North Pole mailbox that I got from Walmart a few years ago. I just added some greenery and some faux like kindling and a bow and a little ornament to dress that up. Usually I put this outside on my porch, but I decided to just leave it in here this year and add some greenery to it. I just have a bottle brush tree that I added to my countertop. At my sink, I have added some little bottle brush trees on the windowsill. And then I have some candle battery operated candlesticks. The suction cup to the wall, window, and they are on a timer, so I did get those this year because I was tired of plugging in, unplugging every night, or they would fall out of my window. And then up here is just a little Christmas curtain that I actually made a few years back and added some trim. So I just put that up at Christmas time each year. Over here is just a vintage scale. I recently got it in a estate sale, and I think I showed in a vintage haul. I added some greenery and some dried oranges to it just because I really wanted it on my counter, and I wanted to add a little bit of a Christmas touch to it. And then I have this little wooden peg rail that I purchased at a garage sale this summer, but it was actually like from Hearth and Hand, I think, from Target. And then I have some, I don't know if it's crocheted or knitted, little pot holders and a little sign and a mug that I added there. On my table, in the middle, I have this sugar cookie towel that is from Target, along with some wooden measuring spoons that I've just laid out for decoration. Those, I believe, came from Hobby Lobby. I recently purchased this ironstone pitcher at the shop that I have a booth at. I had been eyeing it for a while and then decided to just break down and get it. I really liked all the crazing on it. And then I added some greenery to it. And then I just stuck in this little wooden tool that I actually got, I think, at the Goodwill bins recently. And then behind I have just a small little blue banded crock with a candle in it. Next, we will head into my dining room and I will show you how I've decorated in there for this year. Over on this chalkboard, I have added this vintage Santa advertisement on that with a little Merry and Bright at the top. I did a video not too long ago with my vintage Christmas decorations and showed how I decorated this white cabinet in my dining room. I actually got this cabinet also from Facebook Marketplace and just gave it a coat of white paint. Over on this other wall, I have this Antiques and Curiosities sign that I actually made from a chalkboard that I got at a garage sale. I think I did that over the summer. I have two of the ceramic trees. The colored one is just a reproduction from Hobby Lobby, and the white one with the blue lights, my great-grandmother actually painted, and it was my mother's, and she was kind enough to give it to me. I always remember putting those little blue lights in each of the holes. That was kind of my job each Christmas as a kid. So I do remember doing that. Whereas the new ones, the lights are already just kind of permanent in there. All right, and then I will swing around, and I have shown this before, but I'll just kind of pan down through it. The snowman is not vintage, and neither is the little snow sign at the bottom, but everything else is older. I actually got this little wooden stool off of Facebook Marketplace. There was like 4 of them, and this one was this green color, and I sanded forever to try to get that off. And I was going to resell, but I ended up liking it just the way it looked, so I did keep it. For my centerpiece, I just have this little wire and galvanized cloche that I actually got from a garage sale this past summer. And I have a little white house in it from Hobby Lobby, along with a little green wreath. I think I also got that from a garage sale. And I added some of the dried oranges that I recently did. And that's just what's in the middle of the table for now. Over on my Christmas tree, it's a fake tree that I have had for several years. I think I got it probably a good 10, 11 years ago. It's not the prettiest anymore, but I do add a lot of my own lights and just extra things to make it look a little bit better. I don't usually put a topper on the top because it just inevitably is always leaning, so I just leave it empty at the top. And the little red tree skirt, the metal tree skirt, I got from Walmart years ago as well. I had wanted a basket one, and at the time they were new, and I just could never find one anywhere. They were always out, so I settled on this, and it actually is fine. I usually do red for Christmas. A lot of my ornaments are pretty much a red and white theme. This one's one of my favorites because he's looked to made vintage, but he's not. These are actually ribbon that you put on top of a gift, but it's not like the plasticky ribbon. It's more of a material ribbon. And so I actually just kind of hang it over a branch. But that's all that is, to add a little dimension to it. And I think that these red and white balls came from Hobby Lobby along with this white little pom-pom garland. Next, I will take you in my living room that I have decorated. I'll start with my two shelves on each side of the TV and fireplace. I actually Facebook Marketplace these a year or so ago. Like, I would love to have built-ins on each side of the fireplace, but that just wasn't possible. So I found these two matching bookcases, and while they weren't in perfect condition, I did clean them up and kind of fixed them in a few places, and they are working for now. On the top, I have some of the little white ceramic houses. Two of them came from Aldi on like a clearance, and then the other ones are from Hobby Lobby. On this next shelf, I have some vintage books that I've thrifted. And this little bird, I think he might have come from TJ Maxx, but I've just always liked him, so I always put him out. And then, not Christmassy, but I have this little cheese cloche that I actually glued to a little wooden candle holder, and then I've just added some flower frogs to it. So on my next shelf, I have this old vintage mirror, and it is really old. I got it from a place that was going out of business, and I think I only paid like $2 for it, but I love the age on it. It's kind of rickety, but that's okay. I really do like it. And then I have this vintage scale that I got from an auction, some candles, and then I had one of these little Christmas mice I had as a kid. I remember my mom having it, so I've added him to some of my little white ironstone butter pats for now. And down here I have some more vintage books, along with a marmalade jar that I got off of eBay. And then just another vintage scale and some little wooden shoes that I got at a thrift store. And then on my bottom shelf, I just have a few quilts. 2 of them are old, 1 not so much, that I've just folded up for display there. And then next for my fireplace, I have this Real Feel Christmas garland that I got at TJ Maxx this year. I added our stockings and then just some red satin bows. I have this old vintage grocery cart, and I got this at a market years ago, and I usually will put like blankets in it or something, but this year I thought that I would put up like smaller presents that are wrapped, so I just added that there. On the top of my mantle, our TV sits pretty much right on it, so I can't decorate too much on top of it. I do have this glass cloche that I recently got at an estate sale, and another marmalade jar that I purchased online from someone locally, and I just added a bottle brush tree and some fairy lights. And then on this side, I just have some brass candlesticks that I have thrifted. And then I also thrifted this clock, and I painted it white and added some antique wax to it just to kind of make it look a little bit different. So that is my fireplace for this Christmas season. And then my second shelf over here, again, I thrifted this or got it from Facebook Marketplace. At the top, I just recently thrifted this old antique tin that says crackers, biscuits, and cakes, and it's got a hinged lid, and I added some greenery to it. I am really liking it. I was going to resell it, and then I just don't want to part with it right now. On this shelf is just some old paintbrushes, scissors, books. Not really anything Christmas related. On this one, I have this older picture that I got at a marketplace. Not sure if you can see it with the glare, but I have really liked it. It's got a chippy green frame, and so I've just put that on that shelf. And then on this side, I have another glass cloche I got at an estate sale, and I just added some bottle brush trees to the inside of that with this vintage looking foil Santa, but he's not, I'm not sure where I got him, but he's not old. So this next shelf, I have some decorating books, a little Mary sign, this little Christmas tree, and then this little vintage ornament girl that I got at a thrift store, but I kind of paid up for her. I thought she was really cute, so. And then in a crock, I have some old paintbrushes and a folding ruler. This next one is not Christmassy, but I do have my old vintage clocks that I have thrifted, and I added those there. And then down here are some more decorating books and some of my vintage cash register tags that I have there. I've added some candlesticks to my windows over here as well, along with these little green wreaths. Not 100% sure on these little green wreaths. I did get them off of a virtual garage sale. There was 4 of them. They're kind of flat on the back, so I actually have one of them on the inside of my windows, and then I have another one on the outside, so you don't really see. I didn't want to see the flat part from the outside or the inside, so I just kind of doubled them up with the glass in between. And then over here, I didn't get too crazy. I just have a red blanket that is from Target, and then some pillow covers from Amazon that I added there. And then just a throw blanket and another Christmas quilt in the corner in a basket. So let me know in the comments below if you saw anything that you liked, if there was anything that gave you some inspiration for decorating your own Christmas home. So that is a wrap on my Christmas tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great Christmas.